Hello and welcome to Straight Onto Disney, a Disney deep dive and analysis podcast, where each week I, your host Jonathan, takes a deep dive into the history of each Disney film and the legacy that they left behind. I'd like to remind you that you can follow me on Instagram at Straight Onto Disney Pod, and you can email me at straightontodisneypod@gmail.com. So this week I'm joined once again by a fabulous guest, the lovely Jay.
Hello.
Hello,
Hey.
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. So, as we did with the one when I had Tom on, we're going to have a deep dive into your Disney history, ideas about what you'd like to see in the parks, favorite parks, and just have a real nice discussion. So, I think first thing is, how did you get into Disney?
So, I was kind of
Mhm.
born into it. So family wise, my it's kind of well, it's actually really cool. My granddad was involved in the film industry. So he worked on the Great Muppet Caper. So he actually worked on a Muppet film.
Oh
Um,
wow!
He was a runner on Star Wars, so he's been he went on the Millennium Falcon. He's met he was with all the cast and stuff. So yeah, he was a runner on those two films. Then he got into kind of technical side, and then however he fell into it, he ended up helping with the metalwork and design in Fantasyland at Disneyland Paris.
Oh
Uh,
wow!
yeah, which is insane. Um, and some of the stuff that he kind of basically helped make, like some of the stuff he actually made himself, is still there, which is really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So like when I go, it's always like, hey, there's that stuff. Yeah. So when I was like a tiny little baby, I don't remember, but I was at Disneyland Paris when it opened. 'Cause obviously got invited, a family got
Mm.
invited there. So since I was a little baby, I had Disney kind of pushed on me. Obviously with him working more, Muppets and Star Wars, but still Disney. And then as a kid, Disney, whenever I was being an annoying kid, Disney films would be put on the TV, and I'd sit there and I'd watch them and I'd love them, and yeah, and I think it's just like I kind of inherited it, but also just fell in love with it myself. It's just it. I couldn't see. Sounds cheesy. Couldn't see my life without it. Like literally, like I feel like if I didn't have all of this, like Disney, of like I'm
Mm.
just like, what would I actually like? Like like I just it is just that thing. I think growing up with it, obviously having it put upon me helped, but also just loving it, like sitting in front of the TV and watching like the little like the Disney sing-alongs that they used to do with like the words at the bottom of the screen, and I used to sit there and like sing along, and then obviously getting to go to Disneyland Paris so much as a kid, like because of like my family, and then going into adulthood, and then it was like I didn't go. I think I went when I was like 14, and then I didn't go again until I was like an adult, when I was like 18, 19, and then that was like a whole different thing. Because it was like I'm here with like just me and my best friend, and it's like this is like a different experience now because I'm not with my parents or my family, and I'm not having to like do what they want. Like we can do what we want, and it's just, and then that just made me love Disney even more because it was like I've got my own Disney adventure now, and then it's just evolved from there, and yeah, just love it, and I wouldn't be without it.
Oh, that's so awesome. Really, really cool that you were like born into it and then had so many experiences.
Literally, like it was just it's Matt like when my granddad used to tell the stories, like he got in there was like a rap thing with the Muppets, and he got in a taxi with Jim Henson, and he was just like he went to a party with them, and I was just like it's Matt, it like blew my mind, like, and the fact that he's been on the Millennium Falcon, and yeah, that's yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's really really cool. So I think we'll move on to what are your favorite Disney films?
So I was trying to think of one which I couldn't, obviously. So I've got a few.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to blab on too much, but I think if you can't tell from behind me, one of my favourites is Lilo and Stitch. Um, it's just the story of like, like found family, just chaos and the heart, and like ohana meaning family. It just every time it hits, like it's just, I just love that film. I know Stitch is everywhere and everyone's like, get rid of that little blue alien, but I'm just like, no, I love him so much. But no, like Lilo and Stitch, and it's just a film that since I was little and I watched it until like I could watch it every day and I wouldn't get bored with it, and I just, yeah, I love Stitch, and as chaotic and weird as he is, I think he's just the most endearing little guy. Um, but then princess wise, Princess and the Frog is my favourite. Tiana is my favourite Disney princess. That's my favourite princess film. I just love the animation style of the film. Firstly, I just think it's just made like beautifully,
Hmm.
and I love the soundtrack, like the whole New Orleans aesthetic, like all of that. And then Tiana just being like an ambitious kind of grounded princess and being like, I want to work and get what I want, and I don't want to just, not being shady. I don't want to just rely on a man or fall asleep or
Hmm.
leave my shoe at all. But yeah, she's a queen, and I love her, and I love Prince and the Frog. But also princess wise, I have to say like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast as well. Um, I mean Aladdin, Robin Williams as the
Mm.
genie, is just everything. I love that film, and I love him especially. He's amazing. And Beauty and the Beast, just the big sweeping romance. It is nice, and the ballroom scene as well. Just like that scene in animation is still just insane. Um, but then go into the other side. Wally, I love, and I feel like is
Yeah.
very underrated. Um,
Hmm.
because it's like silent storytelling almost. There's not really barely any talking in it, and I like the message of the environment, like
Mm.
because stuff's going bad, so more people need to watch Wally.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and then another one from them, Toy Story. You can't
Mm.
not say Toy Story. Like it was like the big star, like it was their game changer. Um, and like growing up with those characters as well, I think
Mhm.
just makes me love it more.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I know people are like, five's coming and they should have stopped at three, but then I'm part of me's like, but it's kind of nice to have more because I do
Mm.
love those characters. And I mean, the trailer for five looks really cool.
Yeah.
It surprised me how much like I thought it
Mhm.
was like, and I just feel like they're getting a bit meta as well. Like with Woody's bald spot, I think is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Um, but yeah, I think they're kind of my. If I had to pick a very short list,
Yeah.
they're my favourites.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've just done the trailer analysis of Toy Story 5 because that's going to come out probably before this or maybe after this one
Yeah.
comes out. I have campaigned on this podcast about how much this film's needed because of the way it's been told. It's just so being well done in
Mm,
using the right character to tell this story.
yeah. No, and it is like
Hmm.
when they ended Toy Story 3, it was like an end, and when they ended Toy Story 4, it was like the end. But
Mm.
then it's always like you know people. I mean, the original films are great, and I wish there were more of them. But then sequels, like of those popular films, like give me another Incredibles film, please. Like
Yeah,
it's yeah,
it's coming.
yeah, it needs.
Yeah. Brad Bird's still writing it, but he's not directing it, which I find interesting. So
Mm, we'll
I
see.
was like, okay, but I kind of get it with Pixar of why they've had to go and do sequels because of the way that Disney left them for dust in the pandemic and only put the films on Disney Plus with no Premier access.
Mm, no,
So I get it, and I think people don't really know that, which is why people are like, why are you having more sequels? They need money.
Yeah, literally.
And I think another thing is, obviously you love Princess and the Frog. How do you
Mhm.
feel about these rumblings of a live action Princess and the Frog?
Happy, but also like nervous. Like it, it, it needs to be done well. Like I
Mm,
think they need to really research, like New Orleans, like the voodoo side as well. Like get it all right, and don't just make it for the sake of like let's make it. Like take your time, like
mm,
get the casting right. Like I feel kind of flipping to Tangled. I feel like that casting is good, and
mm.
if Mother Gothel casting is true, that's really good. Um, so if they can get, I mean, for me, there's always been one person that I thought I would love to see play Tiana, which is Kiki Palmer. I feel like
Oh, that's a
she'd
good
be,
shout.
I feel like she'd be really good as Tiana because I mean, I love her. Like everything she does, I'm just obsessed with Kiki Palmer. But I feel like she'd be really good as Tiana. Also,
Mm.
side note, I really want her to be Rogue in the new X-Men phase, but that's yeah.
Oh,
But
that's a
but
good
no,
shout
yeah.
as well.
If
Mm,
if they, as long as they get it right, like I was very nervous about Little Mermaid when
mm,
that came out. I feel like they smashed, like that was insanely good. So if they can get Princess and the Frog that good,
mm.
then some of us we won't talk about. But if they can get it as good as like Little Mermaid level,
Yeah.
um, and it's just with with the frogs, like how they like the CGI and stuff, and
Mm,
then it's just that those little bits and getting it all right. But yeah, I think the casting will be the big one in that. I mean, if they can get Jennifer Lewis back to play Mama Rhodey, that would be awesome. So,
yeah, that'd be good. I'd like
mhm.
that. But yeah, I was like, it's either going to be this live action Princess and the Frog, which I'm going to say I'll probably get announced at D23, or it's something to do with Charlotte the Booth, because she's the only one I've seen an audition tips going around for, which I'm like,
Hmm.
hmm,
Then who would? Well, that's a question now. If who would I cast as her? Mm.
hmm,
I feel. I was going to say a name, but then I was going to say Amanda Seyfried, but I don't know.
potentially, I could see it.
Maybe Dove Cameron,
Hmm, yeah,
but I
that's
don't.
not bad shout. But
Now I'm gonna.
I just found it interesting that that's the character that's been circulated that people are auditioning for. None of the other.
Yeah, it's just that one.
Yeah, so I'm like, that'd be kind of cool if you're getting a Charlotte the Booth story before the Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously well, I mean, it's been villains before, but if
Hmm.
they did like a little, like how well I think how good Cruella was, like
Yeah.
if they did that style of story, introducing her. I mean, it may even be a Disney Plus project because obviously they
Hmm.
axed the Prince and the Frog project from Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Um, we won't talk about. So it could be that maybe they're going down that because there's that rumored Gaston one as well.
Yeah.
There's a few bits
Yeah.
going on. So
Because I like read last week or it was sometime this week that Maleficent 3 is supposedly the scariest Maleficent film they're doing. I was like, I don't even know if that's in production anymore.
yeah, it's I don't know if that's when I'm like I love sequels and I'm like I don't know if that one's needed though. Like
Yeah.
it was. Mm,
Hmm. Like I'm like wanting to know what this Mexican Aurora is. Like,
we'll,
explain that to me.
mm.
Right, so moving on. Who are your favourite Disney characters?
So I kind of touched on that a little bit just then. But yeah, Stitch and Tiana, as I just said, two very different characters. Um, Stitch being, like underdog energy, having the chaos, but he's just soft inside and he just wants to belong. And I just think it's just the it's just really wholesome. And then, like I said, Tiana, just being hardworking, not just waiting around to be, like rescued. Um, just realistic and just like very like grounded princess. But then a couple of others for kind of more theme park side. Haunted Mansion. I love the Hatbox Ghost. I think it's such a great character. It is a bit niche, obviously, for
Mm,
Haunted Mansion fans, but he is very iconic, very creepy, and they've had, well, I say just added him. A few years ago, they added him to the parks in um, Orlando as well, which is really fun. I mean, the placement's a bit random, in my opinion, but I'm glad that he got added in. Um, and then another character is Pluto. He's kind of my favorite of the like the
yeah.
main one. 'Cause he's just classic, and he's just joyful and like doesn't necessarily, again, he's like not one that speaks barely ever, but he just creates so many like funny moments, and he's just such a like sassy character as well. He's definitely, I think he's a little bit overlooked sometimes, but I think he's great. And then I just have to say Daisy Duck as well, because she's just like Queen Sass, and yeah. But yeah, I think yeah, those I could. There's loads like
Yeah.
I love so many. It's like hard to just be like these particular ones. Like I could literally get going, but no, I think those ones are kind of the ones if I had to.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. There's so many characters that everyone loves.
Mm,
You can't go through everyone.
literally, it's just it's mad. Like when someone's like, "What? Well, you must have one," and I'm like I cannot pick what like because I'll say, "Well, maybe this." Oh, but then maybe and like
Mm,
it's yeah, it's impossible.
yeah. It's oh, but yeah, it's really cool that everybody has their favorite characters, and you can
Mm.
have that group that you have. Because when I'm doing these ones, especially with these first few questions, it's like we have so many. I'm like, discuss all of them. It's fine. This is what we
No,
want.
it's obviously with Disney, but then like I'm holding back on like Star Wars, Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Oh yeah, but there's like I mean yeah, there's like a million more characters from those ones.
Yeah. So moving on. So what is your favorite Disney era?
So again, surprise, surprise, there's not one. Um, so there's the kind of like the Renaissance, I guess, period, like the '89 to late '90s one,
Yeah, the
um,
Renaissance.
which is like I feel like the golden era, like the big musical
Hmm.
Broadway level kind of like Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, just amazing. Like we were just saying, character wise, like
Mm.
creating icons after icon, like hitting it out of the park like every single time, and like the storytelling, like Lion King, just like Mufasa dying was just like just in like
Mm.
Disney went there and that was yeah. And then like I said earlier, like Robin Williams as the genie, just insanely good. Like all of those characters, all the songs, all the story. Like I just feel like there's so
Mhm.
many iconic things in that era of time. Um, but then I do like kind of the early noughties kind of experimental era when they
How
did
cool.
like Lilo and Stitch, Treasure Planet,
Hmm.
Atlantis, Emperor's New Groove, and it was like they kind of did all of the late '80s, '90s like big like they knew they were just hitting out the park. So then they were kind of like, let's just be a bit weird and let's do some strange things and let's see how it lands. So obviously like Lilo and Stitch kind of initially wasn't like the biggest hit for them, and obviously has become more popular now. Um, but then very underrated films like Treasure Planet, Atlantis, Emperor's New Groove, like that era is just fun and they're so different to everything. And it's just, yeah, I really like the difference between how they were in the 90s and how
Hmm.
they were in the noughties is super cool.
Yeah.
And then I do like the little kind of modern revival when they Princess and the Frog bringing back the hand drawn, which, as I said, I love that style. And then Tangled and Frozen as well, kind of like the shift in the princess storytelling. Um, yeah, they're kind of, well, that's kind of the last 30 years. I've just kind of said. But no, I think that like the Renaissance, the kind of that
Hmm.
experimental time, and then the more modern princessy films, I think they're like the ones that I like the
That's
most.
cool. Yeah, I think they definitely the Renaissance era saved Disney, and I think that having those hit after hit after hit, with a few minor ones that we don't talk about anymore for reasons, but you can say that they were like, we're now going to do some things that you might not think that we're going to do, that we don't talk about as much, but the Treasure Planet, Atlantis, very underrated films.
Yes, very like very like to the point like obviously people like us are like massive Disney nerds, film
Hmm.
nerds, like we love it all. But like some like even like people that are newer Disney fans, not you're like Treasure Planet, and they're like, "What's that?" And it's like,
Yeah,
go on Disney Plus right now. Stop what you're doing and go and watch them like immediately. Like,
but yeah, I definitely agree, and I think that leads us nicely into what is your favorite Disney park?
um, well, I've got a few. um, no, I mean overall.
Hmm.
So it used to be Paris because, like I said, I used to go all the time, and that was kind of that was the only place I'd been. So it was the only park I had. So it was my favorite park. Um, and then I went to Walt Disney World, and not to kind of sound typical, but like it is Walt Disney World. Like it's just the scale of it, like that Disney bubble. It's just like you're just like entering like a world. Like it's not like you go to the park and it's like Disneyland Paris is beautiful and it's a stunning park and I love it and I will always go there and I always will defend it. But Disney World is literally like it says it is a what like as soon as you go through the gates and you're in on property and it's just like it's just insane. Like I mean like Magic Kingdom is obviously like the blueprint park. It's like the castle, the firework, like everything is just like pure Disney magic, nostalgia, just everything you want from a Disney park. But then you've got Epcot, which is like the future, like the culture kind of grown up Disney. And like with the food festivals and stuff as well, which are really cool. Like they do those all throughout the year. Um, Hollywood Studios is going through some changes, but I still because it has Galaxy's Edge, which I love. I think it's just the most like immersive. Like it's insane. Like walking through, and then you're just like, I don't know, I'm an adult, and but I still did my disbelief is just suspended, and I'm just like I'm on another planet. Like I'm in space. Like I'm not on Earth anymore. Like the way they've done that land is just insane. And Tower of Terror as well. I love, and I think it's such a fun ride. Um, and then obviously Animal Kingdom, which is just stunning. It's just like beautiful. I mean, like I'm a big animal fan,
Hmm.
and having all of that amazing like nature, wildlife, and like the conservation messages and stuff. It's just it is so like all of those together, and then with Disney Springs, which I know isn't a park, but that's part of Disney World. But like all of that all mushed together with all the resorts and all the stuff you can do that like I just feel like it's yeah it's just it I love it so much. And like I said, Paris is just stunning, and like the castle at Paris is like beautiful. Like I love the castle in Paris. And their Big Thunder Mountain is the best version in the world because the fact you go under the water and come up on the island, like that's just insanely. Um, obviously Paris has got the studios, and I'm not calling it the other name that it's becoming because I don't like that name. But and I mean that's got potential. The Lion King land like expansion
Hmm.
looks really cool. Um, Frozen's there, you know. And we get Avengers Campus, which is really cool. And I do
Hmm.
like that we've got some Avengers stuff now in Paris. But no, I think my favourite as a whole is Walt Disney World.
No. Yeah, that's cool. And Walt Disney World is just incredible and stunning, and everything that we know is coming is just going to add to that.
Oh my god, so much! Like
Hmm.
I just I cannot wait for all the new stuff
Hmm.
and more. Like they're always adding stuff.
Yeah, and it's just going to look beautiful. And I know not everybody's happy with certain things and that's happening, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be incredible in terms
Mm.
of experiences.
God, yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah. So then, Swift, moving on, what is your then favorite aspect of the parks?
I think like going deeper than just like Disney magic. Like you get to like fully be immersed. Like
Hmm.
I just love it. Like especially in Disney World, like just put turn off all the notifications on our phones. Like just be there. Like nothing from the outside world for a couple of weeks. Like just
Hmm.
just be there. Like every like the smell of Main Street. Like the cast members creating like those like magical moments standing like with people you've never met in your life, like watching the fireworks and everyone's like getting that feeling all together, and then like you can just be yourself. Like you don't have to like you can just be an adult and but be a kid. Like it's just everything just about the parks. Just losing yourself. Like that's what I love about them. Like we go there, and then I know for a week, 2, 3 weeks, like I'm just going to be there with my favorite people in my favorite place, and it's just all going to be amazing. And I'm not going to have to worry about anything that's going on in the world. For example, we were in Disney World at towards the end of January in 2020, um, and I we had no like because I
Hmm.
don't want to go on my phone when I'm there. And then when we got back, you know,
Yeah,
we all know what
yeah.
happened then. And it was kind of like coming back to that. But the fact that we missed some of that stuff because the ramp up to it because we were there and I was just lost in the magic. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what's going on in the outside world. But no, I think of that like the aspect of the parks like that's kind of my favorite is like just being able to just be yourself, lose yourself in the parks and just everything Disney does that draws us in and immerses us.
Oh, that's cool, and I genuinely think that Disney's so clever in their how they Imagineer stuff and how they make the experiences, and I'm
Absolutely.
hoping that we get more of this interactivity from cast members and more stuff that just allows them to breathe life into the parks a bit more.
Hmm. And I think that's like I get like when I was saying about Walt Disney World over Paris, like I mean the cast members in Paris are fantastic and I've had some great interactions there as well. But Walt Disney World, it's just like they're just on another level. Like, and I get it, like because it's a bigger park, it's more expected and things like that. But like I've never ever had a bad experience in Walt Disney World. Like a cast member has, like they've always gone. Like I always feel like, like you're just like, how are you like this energy all the time? Like, and it's just like, and they notice things like when we went, it was in 2020 because we went just past my birthday in 2020. And we was walking through Fantasyland and there was a cast and I had the birthday button on like celebrate my birthday, and then the cast member was like, "Oh my god, come with me!" And then she like took me inside the little. It was Sir Mickey's, I think it's called. And then she was like, "Wait there!" And then she like went and got a magic wand which had pixie dust in, and then she was like, put like pixie dust in my hair, and she was like, we're gonna make a wish for your birthday, and like all, and it was just like stuff like that. Like the cast members just make it like because that day, like literally, it was my birthday, and it was just the best because I was like, I've got glitter in my hair, I got pixie dust. Like they just, yeah, I totally agree with you. Like gives the car like gives them more like to do in the parks because they make Disney like they're so they're just brilliant.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So, what's your favorite Disney merch?
Merch. Um, I mean, I love Spirit jerseys,
Hmm.
like this one. I've got quite a few kind of Spirit jersey pop vinyls as well. I do love collecting them. I've got a few of those behind me. But I do love when parks have or hotels have like specific merch to them. So I like Haunted Mansion. It's got like its own spirit jet. It's got like a whole range of
Hmm.
stuff. Like Pirates of the Caribbean's got its own stuff. Like Phantom Manor in Paris is like even like when we stay in the resorts in Florida, like the hotels have got their own merch, and I just love that kind of specific stuff to the. So it's like the things that I love more than other things. I can get stuff for that. If that makes sense. So like
Yeah.
we can get like little like statues and magnets and stuff from like the hotel that we stay in. So then when we come back, it's those nice memories, and then those rides that or attractions that we do go on that I just absolutely adore. I can end up with a shelf full of stuff, and then just wearing the merch and yeah. So that's merch wise. I really like the kind of specific stuff that Disney makes, and then I mean, these stitches up here. There was they did the 12 the Stitch crashes, so they're all like inspired by the movies. So I love the merch like that. That's like a bit different, but like collectible as well. Um, and it just looks just looking around this room, just like cool stuff just to look at. I'm just like, and it brings back memories as well. Like when I look at certain bits that I've bought, and I'm just like, oh, I remember that trip. Like, oh, I remember this stuff, and yeah.
No. Yeah, I do love merch, and it gets
Mhm.
addictive, so you've got to be careful.
Oh yeah, literally. Like, obviously, when they did this the
Mhm.
Stitch Crash collection, and I knew it was going to be over a year, but like,
Yeah.
I was just like every whenever the date they released it, being on the Disney Store just beforehand, and like refreshing my pet, like getting ready because it was like the website was crashing, and then people weren't getting them, and I mean, there was a lot of people I know that didn't get the stuff they wanted, but. I I was just it was like a military operation in our house. Like
Mhm.
I had like laptop, iPad, phone, like other people. I was like, right, everyone at this time we need to refresh. Whoever gets it in their basket first, pay for it. Like it was, but no, merch. You're right. Like merch is so addictive because you just see like little thing and you're like, oh, I'll just get this little thing, and you
Mhm.
get that, and then they release something else that will go with it or similar to, and then you're like, well, I've got to buy that, and then yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And that's why I don't collect pins.
No.
With enough Funkos.
Mhm.
So, what are your favorite Disney memories? Hmm.
Um, I think like I've got memories like when I was like kind of a little kid, like I said, like with my family. Kind of remembering. Well, I think my earliest memory, I was coming off of Small World in Disneyland Paris, and I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle teddy, which I carried everywhere when I was a kid. And I just remember I came off and I cried because I loved it so much and I wanted. So then my family basically had to keep riding it. So I think that's my earliest Disney memory when I was like a tiny little boy. Um, but I think going to Walt Disney World for the first time, like walking because I was with my well now husband, my boyfriend at the time, and then he was like, "We'll go this way round, and then like step around the corner so like you see the car, like you get the full thing of the castle. Don't just look at it when we go in." So I like stood to the side and went around the corner, and then I just saw it, and I was just like like, and I still picture that like I know exactly what we were wearing, and I like where he was standing, and like And then he was just like, "You okay?" And I was obviously crying. So I was just like, "This is just like." It was just that thing where you see it. Like I saw it for years and years, like on vlogs and on videos and on pictures and stuff like that. And then it was like seeing that in real life with the person that I then married, who I love. Like just being like with him there to get like just that memory is just something that I'll like. I think that's probably one of my favorite. Like I'll never ever forget that because it's making me all goosebumpy now. but but I think as well, like completely opposite to that, walking into Galaxy's Edge for the first time as well was insane. Because again, like I try to avoid when there's new stuff coming out if I've not been myself. Like Epic Universe, I've not been there yet. I've avoided every. I know that's the other park, but I've avoided every video of that park. Like I saw some stuff when they were building it. Like I saw like the drone shots and stuff because that was cool to watch. The actual ride, like everything themselves, like I don't know what's on there. I'll find out in a few months. I don't know yet. But like Galaxy's Edge again, like we kind of avoided stuff. So when we went there, and I was just like, this is, I just like that whole day, I didn't want to leave. Like it was like it's like when I was that little boy coming out of Small World again. I was literally like, I don't want to leave Galaxy's Edge. I was like, this is just like the coolest, like coolest place like that Disney's ever done. Like for me, it was just insane. But I think it's like the memories in Disney, like those ones, like where you just feel like happy. Like I know that sounds really cheesy, but like when you're just in the parks and you're just like, and you're just like nothing could like affect you in that moment. Like it was just, yeah. I think that moment in Disney World was probably like one of my most favourites. I think.
No, that's incredible, and it just shows you how much the Disney magic can do from what they do with Imagineering.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they yeah, they know what they're doing. They're very good people.
So, so what are your favorite Disney adjacent projects? So for listeners, that Marvel, Star Wars, Muppets, etc.
Um, so if you couldn't guess with my talk of Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars. So yeah, Star Wars. Again, like I said, like I kind of grew up with that. Like I first watched it when I was like a little boy, and my like my granddad would like show me the films, and then I was just like, it's the coolest thing, and then just growing up watching it, and then obviously Disney buying it, and then bringing it back, and then 7, 8, and 9, and then my husband is obsessed. When I say like like he can name every planet, character, droid, species. Like if I like honestly like, so it kind of has rubbed off on me a bit. Like I loved Star Wars before, but now I love Star Wars. Um, but he's got like a Darth Vader Star Wars tattoo sleeve like down his arm. Like he's like he's obsessed. But no, I love it. I do, and like I love it for what it is, but I love it for like the cinematography as well. And John Williams just wrote an insane score. Like the Star Wars music is just whenever you hear it, it's like yes, like come on, like Star Tours. I think is just an awesome ride. And the fact that like you're flying through space and they've got the music and everything like that, and I mean I really like the new era as well. I know there's some debates, and people have different feelings, but I mean these are one of my favourite little creatures, the little porgs. I love them, and BB-8 is one of my favourite droids. Whereas my hubby loves R2D2, so we're often battling who's the best droid. But no, I think Star Wars just, and I don't think it will ever grow old. Obviously, we've got Mando and Grogu coming out in May, which I hope does well, because then we'll get more,
Mm.
and we'll get the Ahsoka film hopefully. Obviously we're getting Ahsoka this year on Disney Plus, but there's the big crossover film which they want to do, which Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau want to do. So
Mm,
apparently it's all down to how well Mando and Grogu does. So we will see.
yeah.
But I really hope it does well. But yeah, also the Muppets, like everyone, like if you don't love the Muppets, you're doing something wrong. Like they're just like chaos, and they just are brilliant. And the Haunted Mansion special that they did was just perfect, and one of my favorite things that Disney has made. Like I just think that was just insanely good. Um, Obviously, a bit sad about Hollywood studios that they got evicted, but they're coming back, so they're going to get their own re-themed attraction. So we'll we'll see. But also Marvel as well. Like obviously love Marvel, all the Marvel movies. Like I said, Avengers Campus I thought was awesome. I particularly love the X-Men, and like X-Men '97 I think is just and so good. Like I just feel like Disney absolutely smashed that out of the park. Like, and I cannot wait for season 2, and I want them to announce a date because I'm getting itchy to watch the new series. But and obviously with Doomsday, they're bringing back like some of the originals, which is just going to be
Yeah.
so cool.
Hmm.
That little teaser with Cyclops taking his visor off, like yeah, I literally cannot wait to see them. And like the fact they're bringing back Mystique and Nightcrawler, like
Hmm.
the proper OGs, like yeah. So again, I hope it's good. Because I think they said, again, this is just an online rumor, but I think they said depending how well it does will depend if they split the next film into two.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I saw online.
Yeah. They've then said since debunked that, but I know Secret was that to do that you need to.
They can't do it in like, and I mean, they can probably stretch it to 3 hours, like kind of Avatar style,
Yeah.
like just 3 hours. But still, like, if you want to tell a good like do a two-part, like, because we all want to just see all the characters again. So just like
I know exactly. Hmm.
just the. But I think another kind of Disney adjacent as well, which is in the parks but also films, is Pirates of the Caribbean. Um, I just think again the cinematic world and the score, like that theme tune is like iconic. But I say I love the films. I like the first three a lot.
Hmm.
Um, the later ones were okay, but I just think they were brilliant films. I love the attraction, obviously, but I think the films are just so fun, and they're ones that I again can like watch anytime. Like I could just put them on in the background, or like they're just really. I just find them like nice comfort films.
Yeah.
But I no, I really like I like Pirates a lot. I think it's a really good franchise.
Mm. Do you think there needs to be a sixth one, as is getting reported?
Um, it depends what they're going to do with it. If they're making it just to make it,
Mm.
then no. But I've heard that. I mean, there's loads of rumors online, but like that they're going to focus on Red, which would be quite fun. Um, which again they rumored that Margot Robbie may play her, which
Mm.
could be cool. But then there's rumors that they will bring Johnny Depp back, which would be fun because that character is like
Hmm.
he's brilliant as that. Like Jack Sparrow, he's just insane as that character. But if they do it well, like if they got some of the originals back, mixed it in, and then did like a new story, and then went off in a new direction with some new films, maybe. Um, but it's hard because obviously, again, talking of the other studio, but with Jurassic World, when they bought, they bought back some
Hmm.
originals, like they kind of tried to mix that up, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They need to do it well. If again, I keep saying that, but like it needs to
No-
be like a good story, like a good reason. Like it don't just make it just to be like here's a film. Like
Mm, yeah, and that's why I'm still a bit on the fence because I love the fact that they've brought back Cyclops, but I need them to do it in a way that make it needs to make narrative sense. And
mhm.
from like what I know, I think it will for a certain comic run.
Yeah, just and I think a lot of it as well is going to be like, well, I hope will be for the fans as well,
Hmm.
because bringing back the Fox X Men will be like there's a lot of people that are gonna. I mean, they when was it last I can't remember when last year sometime
Yeah.
they re-released the Fox X Men films at the well I think it was every cinema we went to the Odeon, and it was packed like it was literally sold out like
Yeah.
and I was like this just shows like people still want to see like people love them like and they still want to see them.
Mm. Yeah, and that's why the X Men is the next film after in production.
Not wait.
So yeah, hopefully they do it well.
Mhm.
So, what is your favorite Disney music?
um I like all the obviously it's not a typical answer. Like all the princess songs and
Mhm.
like those sorts of songs. I like a lot of the film music. Um, so like Prince and the Frog soundtrack, I just think is brilliant. I wish there were more songs in that film. I love that soundtrack. And then like there's certain songs from certain films like Friend Like Me, I think is an absolute like top tier. But I do like the big ballads, like Beauty and the Beast, like A Whole New World, all of all the nice songs. Um, but I do like the Parks music as well. Like I think the soundtrack, like Happily Ever After, is just I cannot listen to that without getting goosebumps and feeling a little bit emotional because that music is when that kicks in and it's just like oh here we go. And I think the Phantasmic soundtrack is so cool as well. They've got some really nice. There's
Mm,
the bit with the princesses where they kind of all merge their songs together. I think is absolutely brilliant. Um, and Paris had some really cool songs. Last time we went, there was some well, they got stuck in our head for a long time. Um, but yeah, I think the parks music, like, because they know that they need to make them
hmm.
like catchy, and then they get stuck in your head, and then like Festival of Fantasies, just like such a simple soundtrack, but just gets stuck in my head every single time. And then like the Boo to You parade from like Mickey's Not So Scary. That's as soon as you hear that, and it's like right, that's stuck in my head now. Um, I think music wise, like those kind of animated stuff, the park stuff. But then something I haven't actually mentioned, High School Musical. Absolutely love High School Musical, and that's one that I will like. I'll probably stay now I've said it 'cause I've listened to it in ages. Um, but that's like
Hmm.
those Disney Channel movies, like Camp Rock and all of those ones. Like they've got some really good songs in there. Um, but yeah, it's not really one particular kind of type of Disney music. It's just all of it. Like I've got a playlist on Spotify that I just add every time there's like a new Disney thing, and then we just put it on shuffle, and it's like let's just listen to whatever comes on. But and all the soundtracks as well. Like I said, like
Yeah.
Star Wars, Pirates, like having those on and like
Mhm.
turning them up really loud, and it's just like oh, this is awesome. But yeah,
Yeah, I have separate playlists for them. I'm like, I have my Disney playlist for when I'm just want them, and then I have all the soundtracks for when I'm doing my writing. I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to this.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you like to see in them add or remove or anything from Disney parks and Disney films?
I think for the parks in Hollywood Studios, which is a bit of a crazy time at the moment. I'd like them to give the Muppets more than what they're getting. So I think obviously they're getting Rock and Roller Coaster, but I think where that villain show is, which is literally next door, they should turn that into not necessarily Muppet Vision, but Muppet Vision if they want to. That's great because everyone loves Muppet Vision. But there's a whole stage. There's a whole show. Like they could put a permanent Muppet show in there. They could turn that into a little Muppets Land again. So although we lost what we had, that little courtyard area in Hollywood Studios, which is kind of tucked away, could be a nice little Muppets Land. And
That's
I
not a
think
bad
people,
shout.
it would be like because like I said, you've got Rock and Roller Coaster. You can do a show there. You can turn that. There's a lot of space where they could put. Because I'm sure they've kept like the Miss Piggy fountain. Like they could install that again. Like put the when you walk through where the car is for Rock and Roller Coaster, just turn that into welcome to Muppets, and then just have some fun Muppet stuff in there, and like because I mean as it's going to be Tower of Terror, which that needs to be left. Don't touch Tower of Terror. But then next to that is Rock and Roller Coaster, and then next to that is the Villain show. So it's very like it's kind of. Whereas you can have Sunset Boulevard with Tower of Terror, and then that little courtyard then could then be Muppets, 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 rather than Muppets and a Villain show.
Mm,
And I assume the Villain show is going to go when Villains Land opens. I
yeah, I
think it
was
is more
expecting that.
temporary, but and then Muppets could replace it, which would be great.
Hmm.
Um, and I think in Magic Kingdom, obviously they're building villains and cars. I think Tomorrowland needs like some love after because it's like just kind of been left basically. Like I know they're slowly doing stuff, which makes me feel like they are heading towards a big kind of after what they're doing, maybe giving that
Hmm.
some love. 'Cause obviously, Buzz is getting new ride vehicles, new guns, new targets, new pre-show, like all of that.
Hmm.
Um, and then I saw a couple of rumours that we may get a new Space Mountain being built there, similar to what they're doing in Tokyo, I think.
Mm.
So they'll build a new one behind the current one, so then they don't have to bring it down.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
which is what they're doing there, and I think it's now Disney's most expensive project ever or something. I saw online, like
Yeah.
it's like heck, like a lot of money. But yeah, I think if they because then they've got what was the Stitch attraction
Hmm.
sat empty, and it's been empty for I don't know, like a lot time, like nearly 20 years maybe. Like it's just been sat there, and then they've got opposite that the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, which I assume will go when Monstropolis opens because they're getting a show there.
Yeah.
So that could be replaced with something new, and then yeah, I just feel like it needs like leave the People Mover alone because the People
Hmm.
Mover is one of my favourites. Like don't touch that. But then Carousel of Progress is getting the Walt animatronic, so that's getting some love as well. So I feel like they're doing little bits, and I feel like eventually it will be like we're gonna redo Tomorrowland to whatever they're gonna do because they've got Tron as well, which is obviously
Mm.
like a newish thing. So yeah, I think Tomorrowland needs some love. Um, and then I would really like more because I loved the ride is for like a Pirates of the Caribbean expansion. So make like a town, so like a proper like little pirate town with like like pirates walking around. There is I cannot remember which park it is, but there is a Jack Sparrow stunt show in one of the Asian parks. So they could bring that over. I know they've got the Beacon Barrel Bar, but they could do like a pirates restaurant. Like they could make it into like a whole area. And there is a little bit of land there they can play with.
Hmm.
I know it is kind of themed as you walk through. It is like quite piratey, and you can meet Jack Sparrow and stuff like that. But I just think it'd be really cool if it was like a real pirate town. And also, again, it's rumored on the new plans, but I want them to build a Haunted Mansion restaurant, um, because I just think it would be amazing. Because there's that building behind Haunted Mansion on the new plans, which no one really knows what it is yet.
Mm,
Um, and it is rumored to be a restaurant, so I really hope it is, or at least a bar like they've got on the Disney Cruise Line,
yeah.
because that would be so much fun. Um, but for like an original attraction, I think one that I'm surprised still that they haven't built is like a Stitch roller coaster, because obviously his roller coaster ride is literally like his song, like, and I just feel like they're missing, like they could do a really cool like hybrid, like a water slash roller coaster ride. So I went on, which park was it? I think it was Europa Park in Germany.
Hmm.
They had a mix like coaster slash water ride, which
Oh,
was so
okay.
much. Um, and like for Stitch, like that would work so well to have like the coaster and then splash down and then go through the water and stuff. Like they could make that into a really cool ride. Um, and I just really hope they do Villains Land well, because I feel like they need to add that. Like it needs villains. Like we need more representation for the villains because everyone loves them, and it shouldn't just be Halloween that we get them. But I just, I mean, going off of Galaxy's Edge, how immersive and insanely good that is, I have very high hopes, and the Imagineers are obviously amazing people, and I'm sure they've got some great plans. But there was all that stuff. Was it last week or the week where they said that they've scrapped all the
Yeah.
plans?
It was this
Josh
week.
tomorrow, Josh
That is
tomorrow's
separate.
like, do it again, make it better. So I do wonder, like, what are they going to do, or what were they going to do that Josh tomorrow didn't want them to do? So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But I think, like, when it comes to Halloween, when it's open, I think that would be so cool because they can do so much of that as well. Like if they
Hmm.
did like a special, so you got Mickey's Not So Scary, but then you could have the villains so scary, like do like a special event in there, like a ticketed thing with character. Like there's so much they could do. Um, but I just hope, I really hope it's what good because it's so like it's been for
Hmm.
years. Like, everyone's wanted Villains Land, and it was rumored like way back, like it was meant to be built and all of that, and then now it's actually happening. I just, I hope it's going to be worth the wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think what happened was is they realized one attraction in Villains Land wasn't gonna go.
'Cause I think they need, I think like maybe some sort of coaster style ride, not necessarily a full on roller coaster, but like that sort of style,
Hmm.
and then like a boat, like a watery, like with different scenes from different, like a greatest hits almost of like the villains. Like that would be really fun.
Mm.
'Cause if they are having Maleficent's castle, then obviously like a coaster going through all the vines and stuff, like fighting the dragon, would be awesome. And then have more of a well, not family friendly, but family friendly villains boat or trackless or something like that, where we can go around and see all the villains and hear all the songs and all the stuff that we love, which would just be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be that'd be incredibly cool, and I think they need to really tap into the potential of Villains Land. Mm.
No, they do. Um, and I think for outside of the parks, for the like the films,
Mm.
as much as we were saying about sequels and stuff, I feel like some original stories, as easy as that is to say, would be just really good. Like even going back to like having a bit of like a hand drawn revival, like just try it Disney, like see what happens. Because I think if they get it right, then it will be amazing. But it's just getting the right original story and then doing those kind of things. But I think even yeah, it's kind of original, but not because the characters are already established. But like the villain, like expanding on the villains, like we said about Gaston rumored to be getting his own thing. But like do more villains origin stories or like twisted tales or spin-offs or stuff like that, just because like I said, Cruella was just so good. Like, and if they made more like that, then not necessarily live action even, like they could do hand drawn, um, which which would be really fun. I'd like to see an Ursula origin story personally. I think that would be really cool. Like her and King Titan as like younger sea people. I think that would be quite cool. But also, I want a live action of Treasure Planet. Just as a side. Like that's that's something I feel like they need to make. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think throwing it back to Tomorrowland, I'm going to say that I would. I'm surprised there's no Big Hero 6 or Wally in Tomorrowland.
That's true. Wally would be a good shout
Mm,
because yeah, they and I mean, like I said, that's like one of my favourites, and I feel like there's not really anything like
no.
there's a statue of him in Disneyland Paris, and I'm really trying to think if there's anything in Walt Disney World. I might be forgetting something,
Mm,
but like I feel like he needs like
yeah,
somewhere.
it does.
Big Hero 6 would be like a really cool coaster idea as well, actually. Like when he's like flying and stuff, like that would be really fun. Or like a show, even like they could replace the Monsters Inc. one with like a Big Hero 6 show, which would be quite fun.
Yeah, I'm expecting Muppets, not Muppets, Monsters Laugh Lot a move to Hollywood.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm. So, what are your most underrated and overrated Disney films?
I think we kind of took like underrated. I think like Treasure Planet, Atlantis. I think Hunchback of Notre Dame is really underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's one. I don't know why, but people really overlook it. I mean, it is dark. Obviously, it's not a kind of a happy story, but again, some of the songs in that and like the story and the characters, like Frollo is like a villain, like he's evil, like
Yeah.
he's nasty, like, and then again as well, similarly, Emperor's New Groove is very overlooked, very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what like Yzma is just she needs to be in Villain's Kingdom, like hands down, like she's so brilliant. But I think those films, and I think a little, she's kind of got traction now because she's been given the attraction and she's kind of in the parks more. But I think Princess and the Frog went under the radar for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, I think people just, again, I don't know why, but they just weren't like she wasn't a big thing. But now more and more. But I think overrated. I think Frozen is overrated. Um, it's now I like Frozen one, the film. It's good, and it's Let It Go
Mm-hmm.
is a great song. Like you can't deny that. Um, but because it was such a huge success, I just feel like now it's everywhere and it's just oversaturated and like I said, like Stitch is everywhere. Like no, Frozen is everywhere. Like
Yeah.
Frozen is like, and and I get that it's a different target audience to me. Like it's not aimed at me. It's aimed at the right the audience that it's
Mm-hmm.
selling billions of pounds and dollars to, which it has. Um, but I just I wish like when they announced like the studio's expansion and I was like, oh cool, what like are we going to get something unique? We're going to get something new, which we have with Lion King, which is great. But then when they were like Frozen, I was just like, okay. And it was like, oh, and we're getting an exact replica of Frozen Ever After from. I was like, ah, okay. So, like, it's cool. Like again, that we could like getting this new land in Paris because we need it. But I just, I'll obviously I'll go and I'll look and I'm sure it'll be fantastic. But for me, like, I'm not that hyped about it. Like, don't want to. Sorry, everybody. um, and then the other thing, which again is also getting some park representation that I think is overrated, is Cars. Um, like, again, it's good. Like, it's fun. Mater's a great character. It's got a nice soundtrack. It's got a nice story. Um, but I don't think it's worthy of a whole land in Magic Kingdom. I don't think it's worthy of replacing the riverboat, which and Tom Sawyer Island. I feel like if something was going to replace that, it needed to be amazing.
Mm,
Um, but again, like 'cause obviously they're going down this whole like national park route with the theme and stuff, which I'm sure like it sounds like it's going to be really pretty,
yeah.
but like I just feel like it's just a bit like it is good and it's fun, but again, I don't know, maybe because it's not
Mm,
something I've really ever been interested in. Like I think it's fun. Like Mater is brilliant. He's such a fun character. He is hilarious. Um, and like overrated, it doesn't mean like it's bad. It just means
mm,
like I just don't connect with it.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think those two are like my kind of if I had to say there was two. Um, but people love them, and it makes Disney lots of money, and then Disney can then keep building stuff and making stuff. So
Mm.
why not?
I think my only thing I find like irony with the new cars bit in Magic Kingdom is that the name comes from planes, Piston Peaks. it's,
Oh yeah,
it's not even a
it's
car's location.
I'm like I get because I mean saying that the cars Radiator Springs in Disneyland in Anaheim,
Hmm.
well in California Adventure looks like amazing. Like like that
Hmm.
just looks so cool. And like when like videos and vlogs and stuff, like people walking down there, I'm like, this okay, yeah, that looks really cool. So I get it,
Yeah.
but also yeah, like you said, like, and I'm glad they're not just copying that because when they said cars initially, I was like, oh, we're
Mm,
just getting a carbon copy of Radiator Springs. But at least they're
yeah.
going a little bit different. And I mean, some of like the testing, like the stuff they've released of them, like in a desert, like testing and stuff, like it looks quite cool.
Mm,
Um, but also part of me is like, is it just another test track maybe?
mm,
Um, because that's some cars that go really fast around the track and then come back. And test track's awesome, but do we need test track in uh, Magic Kingdom as well?
mm,
Similarly, actually, something that I think's overrated. I've just thought of um, Avatar: Flight of Passage. I think is extremely overrated in Animal Kingdom. Um, Everyone loves that ride, and like I get it. Like what I get why you'd love it, but like I just feel like it's just a very like kind of poor man's version of Soarin', personally. Because I love Soarin'. Like I think Soarin' is fun, and
hmm.
obviously Soarin' was the original. I just feel like when it gets 3 hour waits for something, if I'm waiting 3 hours, which I never ever would wait 3 hours for that ride, but if I was to wait 3 hours for something, it would need to be like something mind blowing, like Rise of Resistance, like something like insanely good. But like, I just feel like it's I don't know. For me, again, it's I just don't connect with it. Like, it's just a bit like you kind of sit there and then you're like, oh, okay, cool, and then it's over and it's just like, oh, okay, I just went on Soaring, but I sat on a motorbike rather than dangled my legs. So, but yeah, had to get that one in there.
So, what is the feeling that Disney leaves you? Mm,
I think it's like I said, like the like contentment. Um, so like you get like the nostalgia, like the optimism, and then you can kind of, like I said, like feel like a child again. Like you've just got that freedom and escapism, and it kind of makes you feel like, not to get too deep, but like the world can still be like a little bit of a hopeful place, and like it's not all kind of dark and dreary and everything that's going on in the world, which just is a lot. But like Disney just gives you like comfort. So like, no matter what's going on everywhere, you know that at the end of the day, you've got this stuff and those TV shows and that film and that music, and you can go to those parks, and then you just know that you're going to be like you can just breathe, and you just feel safe and happy, and yeah, it's just that the place that you always know, like you're going to get magic, and it is magical, and I think that's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's like an incredible sentiment to have with Disney, and I think more than ever we need a bit of magic in our lives at the moment.
Absolutely, it's yeah. I think just being able to switch off from the world is nice sometimes, and
Hmm.
Disney gives us that, which is amazing.
Yeah, so I think that's a very nice way to wrap up this week's episode. So, Jay, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at jventures UK. You'll see me on there. I post all sorts of stuff: Disney, Universal, films, theatre, all sorts. But yeah, come say hi, and hopefully see you there.
So, I'd just like to remind you, you can follow me on Instagram at StraightonToDisneyPod, and you can email me at StraightonToDisneyPod@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening, and bye!